no. How did you start?
Shall I do it?
Yeah.
All right. Since you were last here, we've been quite busy here at Curious Department HQ. So we've had the carpenter round to work on cabinets in this room, and we've also finished our master bedroom and had our wardrobes fitted, along with lots of paintwork all over the house in various places as well. So we've done a few things in this room. So we had a carpenter come and build these bespoke cabinets in the alcoves, which I think really finishes the room off. It also gives a bit of height to the room in terms of furniture. Everything's quite low at the moment.
I think this is the room that we're always constantly finding new bits and pieces to add to the room. Like we found this mermaid table at a junkyard a few weeks ago. We found this bar on eBay that we're besotted with, but we don't know what to do with it just yet. So yeah, this room is always constantly evolving and growing, and yeah, it's our kind of favorite sort of curious collection piece.
So one of the other things we found on Facebook Marketplace were these old picture lights, which we just love because they kind of speak to a bit more of a traditional space, and then we're trying to offset it with things like our prints and the colour palette as well, to make it more of a mashup of eras, which is something we love to do. We love to kind of play with pieces from various nostalgic times in history.
But the one thing that we don't like about this room that we definitely need to point out is this red carpet, which we obviously inherited from the previous owners. Yeah, that's definitely the next thing for us to change. It's going to be such a big statement to change this flooring from the red carpet to hopefully black and white tiles. So yeah, that's definitely the next thing on our list.
We also have launched our own range of lampshades since you were here last. So here they are in all their glory. And what we wanted to do was just make sure we had something that could emit a really warm glow. So we use this room for evening entertainment as well sometimes. So it was really important that the light that came from them was super warm and inviting.
So this is the master bedroom. I have to say I'm most impressed with Ross in this room. This is really a lot of his handiwork, a lot of his vision. From the paneling that he's done himself, down to the wardrobes that we customized, that was all his vision. So yeah, this I think is really hats off to Ross for executing this and making it look real proper hotel vibes, which is what he wanted.
Yeah, well that was the vision for this room, was to feel like it was a boutique hotel. Mainly because we're just so busy in life, we wanted to come back to a sanctuary that just felt really polished and plush and nicely finished. Some people were kind of a bit surprised when we were putting so much pattern in this room. So from the bedspread to our Curious Department Coral Odyssey cushions, to the crazy carpet, to the wood on the walls as well, and the paneling and the curtains. But you know, we feel that that's the thing that we love to do. We absolutely love pattern, and actually blending them, putting them together in unexpected combinations that no one else has tried before is what we love to do.
So this is the first room that we actually finished. This is our kind of guest bedroom. And Ross had a very distinct vision of hotel boutique vibes. We went through about 10 different shades of blue before we found the right one. I was a little bit apprehensive at first, but with all the different layering of the kind of wallpaper and the cushions and the textiles, I think he's really pulled it off in this one.
Yeah, this room was really built around our own wallpaper, which features dragonflies and lotus flowers as well.
And there's definitely a strong nod to chinoiserie, and there's even a little bit of Japanese influence in here and some heavy mid-century vibes as well. So cinema room has always been a real strong kind of look that we knew we wanted to achieve. This room is really our kind of go-to at the end of the day to really kind of just chill out, relax, watch Selling Sunset, you know, that sort of thing. So yeah, this is all about just decadence, about luxury, about just comfort, loads of cushions, lots of velvet. But we always had this weird holding space between the cinema room and the dining room and the kitchen. We've worked with one of our friends who owns a furniture company, and she helped us source lots of really cool pieces like the rattan furniture and these mid-century chairs, just to bring in a little bit more of a kind of a living room space. So it's less of a glorified hallway and more of a kind of a nice informal place. We'll have coffee with some friends.
We've really tried to connect this space with the space through there, so when you open the doors you really get a feeling that these two rooms belong together. Again, still loads to do. We need to change the floors in there. At some point we're going to knock through so you can see the garden properly too, but this is what we've done just for now to keep us in a space that feels cohesive. In this space we decided to paint the ceiling. It was originally like an orange kind of wood, and we put it out to vote on our Instagram page and let our followers decide, and they voted to paint it, so we did, and these are the final results. And I think it actually makes this room seem way brighter now, and it seems a bit more modern. The kind of orange wood felt really 50s in a bad way, and just looked kind of faded, and they've come up really nice now that they're painted.
Yeah, what's really interesting is we use the sage green on the walls, but actually this colour is actually the same greys that's used in the bedroom. It's the same colour, but with the garden and up against the sage green, it really looks like a kind of a mint green, which I think is really cool. So actually it was economic because we used the same paint, but we got a completely different effect just with a different light in this room and everything. Obviously the flooring we just couldn't do much with, so we just had to grin and bear it for another couple of years, I think, but we've definitely got enough going on in this room to keep us happy. And of course we've got the amazing garden that we've luckily inherited when we bought the house. So it's a great space to entertain guests and stare out into the garden and enjoy definitely what's coming through with spring right now.
So when we moved here a year and a half ago, we knew we'd taken on a massive task, but we like to plan things in real detail. So we create mood boards and we Photoshop photographs of the rooms as well to plan each room to a T before we get going. So by the time it comes to actually tackling a room, we already know what furniture we're going to have, what colour paint we'll be using, and exactly where the furniture's going and where it will live in the room and how all the scale of everything will fit as well.
Yeah, I mean, definitely this room, it's pretty much what you'd want in terms of the colour. The colour is the perfect colour. I think for the cinema room, we originally wanted greige and white. I mean, we could be more different what we ended up with. So sometimes things just changed and evolved, doesn't it, over the last couple of years as well.
I think as well, because we kind of have a brand, the Curious Department, we always like to push ourselves as well to be as interesting as possible and not necessarily do what everyone else is doing as well. So that's often the kind of guiding light that we use to tackle a room. So next on our big list of things to do is probably tackling the floors. We've got a few issues like this red carpet, for instance, which came with the house and isn't really part of this room scheme, but it's such a big task because we want to connect it fluidly to the hallway as well. Also downstairs we need to tackle the floors as well, because the way the floors are at the moment, they kind of divide all the rooms, whereas we want to connect them. So that will be the next task.
Yeah, and definitely the hallways. It feels like we've got lots of finished rooms, but we don't really have that flowing kind of space that connects it all. So I think, yeah, definitely the hallway will be the next thing to tackle, or definitely to add to the list.
And bathrooms, we need to sort those as well. So there's always something to do at this house.
I mean, it's been, when you said you'd last were here a year, I think I was a little bit embarrassed about how little it felt like we've actually achieved, but it just, things take a lot longer than we anticipated, and just, fitting it all in, and so many rooms to decorate and finish off.
I think the biggest challenges are finding the time, like you said, but also I think with an old house there's always surprises, or there'll always be something that needs fixing that's not necessarily something you can see. So whether it's a chimney needs repairing, or there's an old boiler's gone bust, so those are big challenges that can delay your sort of more aesthetic projects, but they need to be sorted. So that's the other thing with an older house. There's still quite a lot to do, and so unfortunately some of the rooms aren't all finished yet. I think the thing with us is that we don't ever see ourselves finishing. It's always an evolving process, because our tastes and change just in the same way that trends change as well. And that's the thing with a creative and curious mind. You're ever evolving and you're trying your best to perfect over and over again, but you never quite get there. And I think that's a good thing, that you have all of these ideas that you can execute over the course of your lifetime. Thanks so much for following our story so far. We've had loads of fun transforming the rooms in the house, and if you want to see the rest of the transformation story, then please follow us on @thecuriousdepartment on Instagram.